Hello. In this lesson, we will be dealing with showing you a little bit about what Director can be used for. That should be a good place to start. As I mentioned before, this is a multimedia authoring environment. It lets you create software applications, and those applications can be delivered in a variety of formats. The two primary ones are as standalone projectors. That's the name that Director gives for an application that might be delivered, say, on a CD, and it's geared towards a particular platform. You stick in the CD and you install the application and run it. That's called a projector. The perhaps more popular way of distributing Director applications is as Shockwave movies, which are sort of similar to Java applets, if you're familiar with those. They're applications that are multi-platform. They can run on a Mac or a PC, and they are delivered over the web. They can be streamed, meaning that they don't have to download in their entirety before they start playing, which makes them, of course, very useful for the World Wide Web, where download speeds are not always the fastest. So what we're going to do in this lesson is show you a few Shockwave movies that were created with Macromedia Director Shockwave Studio 8, and use that to give you an idea of what you can do with Director. So let's go to our browser, and let's take a look at Rob's Shockwave Studio. Now this is a web page that I created last year that just showcases some of the Shockwave movies that I created with Director, and we'll use it just to show you some things that you can do with Director. One is a little game. You can use Director to create small, simple games. This one is just a puzzle. It's a slide puzzle. You might be familiar with those sorts of things, but we'll let it load here. And as it loads, you'll see a little progress bar that will show the progress of loading. And that one was so quick, you really didn't get a chance to see it. But when you say Make New Puzzle, you have a little puzzle here. There are various tiles. You click on the tile and it moves. And the object of this game is to organize these tiles so that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm sure you've played something similar or are familiar with it. So that's one simple Director application that you could create. Let's show you another. Director is very useful for education. There was an application I created called Sentence Maker when I was a student aide in a first grade classroom, and it allows students to create sentences from words even if they don't really know how to write words or have a hard time recognizing them. So what they can do is drag words into what's called a sentence frame, and then when they press speak, it actually reads the sentence that they created. So let's take a look at it. I am a dog. So there you go. So it's useful in letting them, construct meaning from words, which is, an important thing in language instruction. Just one example of something you can do with educational type stuff. You can create educational games. This is, somewhat educational. It's a hangman game. It's sometimes used to show children how to spell words and things. So it's just like regular hangman. You put in a letter and try to give it a letter. I put in G. Well, that showed up. Put in another one, H. Well, that showed up too. Let's keep going. Well, S is not one of them. So you can click on here, have a clue, the act or occupation of a teacher. Well, I'd say that's probably teaching, so we can enter in that T-E-A. Yeah, I'd say that's what it is, but let's kill him anyway, just so we can see what that looks like here. Little graphic. So, there you go. And you could start a new game, and he's miraculously back to life. Now, if you'd like, you can explore the rest of this site to see some of the other things that you can do. Another good site to go to is Shockwave.com. Shockwave has applications that were created with both Director and Macromedia Flash. These are two separate programs, and they save their applications in the Shockwave format, which allows them to be viewed by the Shockwave player. Usually animations and things like that are done with Flash, and more interactive things like games are done with Shockwave. So if you go to Shockwave.com and you look under the games section, then you will see things that were most likely made with Macromedia Director. Let's see. We'll also include numerous other links to examples on the class website. So if you'd like to explore further, please do so. Okay, we have shown you in some detail some of the things that you can do with Director on the web using Shockwave, which is a format that you save Director projects in. Another way of distributing Director applications is on CD using a projector. And those are platform-specific applications, just like any software that comes on a CD. You install it from a disk, and it plays. There's no downloading from the web or anything like that. Several educational applications, many educational applications are made with Director. Kiosks, if you ever go to a store and they have a kiosk with, information on a particular product, or at conferences, shows, things like that, they will sometimes have kiosks, and those will use the projector format that Director uses to allow others to view Director programs, not using the web. Okay, so that's a projector. So there's two formats, the Shockwave format and as a projector. Those are the two ways that you can deliver your Director application. Now, we've talked about what Director is good for. And what Director is good for are animations, arcade-style games, educational applications, or any small application where performance is not at a premium, but speed and the ease of programming and perhaps some multimedia flash is important. Those are appropriate uses for Director. Inappropriate uses might be complex 3D games like Unreal Tournament. You would never program Unreal Tournament or Doom even for using Director because there's too much overhead in the development environment of Director to make that a practical affair. It would be very hard to program. It would be huge, buggy, and would not perform well. Similarly, you would not want to program something like Photoshop or 3D Studio Max or even Microsoft Word. Simple word processor you could maybe do in Director, but anything like Word, any really big, complicated application is not well suited to Director, just again because of overhead and because of issues of organizational issues, really, and trying to organize your code. Director is probably not the best suited for something like that. So, we've explored Director, what it can do, the ways you can deliver your final product, what are some things you would not use Director for. I hope that's helpful in giving you a perspective as you start this class about all the things you can do with Director, and I hope you'll explore the other links that we have on the website so that you can get an even better idea.